Hello, making a video for Kenny Redwood channel. Um, because of technological reasons alone. Otherwise, that channel would have stayed dormant, but I had to sign into that account because it's a little bit chaotic, everything with all these different accounts and so on. So obviously I can only have my Google account, my Nikki Loves Dogs account in one tablet, and I have to have a different one in this one. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just, yeah, it's just chaos. I just don't understand it, and it doesn't matter. Technological inabilities should not hold me back from trying anyway and from doing what I can. And that brings me to the subject I wanted to talk about. And that subject is because, like, when I woke up this morning, I was thinking and thinking and thinking. I was thinking about Jeff Bezos and what an amazing brain that is, and how he views the world. He doesn't only view the world as the glass is still half full. No, he views the world as this is an infinite potential that I have here within myself and outside of myself. And I'm gonna not just make the best out of it, but I'm gonna make this rocket. And that to me, that speaks directly into me, into the core of my existence when I see something like this. And there aren't very many people that bring this sentence to that core. There's other God level souls on this planet, but they're very busy with what they're working on to make the world better. They're very busy with this, and so is Jeff Bezos. But he also talks about this. He also knows how to put this into words. And this infinite optimism, infinite, it's not just an optimism, it's a knowing. It's not just a faith. It's just, I know I can do it. So I know the other God level souls like Elon Musk and Paul Watson and Dr. David Bohm in his days. They, and many more, of course, Ingrid Newkirk, they also know they can do it. They're just not talking about it. They're not putting it into words. So, and they're also flowing. They're also in the flow. They're also in this momentum of infinity and making things work. And Jeff Bezos also is just incredibly good at putting this into words and explaining this in psychological terminology. So in motivational psychological terminology. And it's so distinct what he said. So just put into one short sentence. And this total leanness of his existence, lean and mean in a good way though, mean in a way of, there's no wasted baggage, literally, on his body or in his life or in his mind, particularly not in his mind. There is no wasted suitcases, like I see a lot of people that clutter in the United States. That would be exactly the opposite, clutterers. People who load their houses full of stuff they don't use. Totally wasted space, wasted clutter, wasted material. The material even wastes, because rats burrow holes into it and they pee and poop in it. I mean, really, this is really happening. I had friends like this. So eventually it does break apart because I'm not on that same wavelengths as they are. I went along for a while because I needed friends. I didn't have anyone to talk to. But then comes this threshold where where the act outs are going on my nerves too much, and where it becomes an ethical concern for me, also for the animals, for their health and so on. And I hate seeing people ruining themselves like this, and not listening. That's the key here, not listening to anything I say or suggest, any common sense. And what bothers me the most is when those people are hurting others because of those act outs. That's unacceptable for me, because I love animals. I hate to see someone having 100 cats and they live in miserable conditions because of this cluttering and this total mental illness state. And then I see homeless people in the streets. They also can't let go of any item, not even trash. They'll pick up anything and put it into an old rusty shopping basket, cart, and they push that around, squeaking with squeaking wheels, push that around. And they're burdened by this. That's what Friedrich Nietzsche is talking about when he talks. So they're burdened by this load of clinging. That's what the Buddhists are talking about here. This attachment, clinging to things, not being able to let go, too afraid to let go of the trash that bogs them down. So and that alone makes their lives miserable, and they're completely confused and completely congested and constipated brain-wise. So many people, I see so many people, like the whole world is full of those people. One has it a little better than the other. Some people are rich and have that, and they just keep on getting money, but they still load themselves up and are cluttered and all of this. Some people are rich because they have inherited money, or they are married to someone who's rich, but they themselves are not that lean brain. I see that too. So I see all kinds of different things, and I see the most miserable existences, like the people in the third world countries. They have it even worse than the homeless people here in the United States. They really have it terrible. So, and I've talked to all of those people on the internet. I talk to, because I'm interested in how they view the world. I'm interested in what's going on inside of their brains, what they're thinking, and they're not thinking very much. And that's why they are in those mental states. Don't mistake this now as some kind of judgment. This is not a judgment. This is just an observation. And Tony Robbins talks about this too. People should listen to him and not judge him for the way he looks. I think he's good looking. So, but anyway, we need to focus on what's important, and not get sidetracked all the time, like with ADHD, some sidetracking, some emotion that comes in that bogs us down, and then people are acting out on it to get away from the feeling, when in fact what they should be doing is they should be facing it. They should be facing what's going on. They should be facing their jealousies. They should be facing the situation. What am I doing here? Why am I loading my house up with all that stuff? Why can't I let go of this? Why do I, whatever people are doing. Question yourselves. Question what's going on inside of your brains. This is very important. And I wanted to talk about these people that are thinking of themselves as disadvantaged, and a lot of those people, a lot of those clingers and hoarders type of people, they feel disadvantaged. I talked about this before. I know someone very very close who is getting $900 per month from the U.S. government, and he still thinks that's not enough, and he lives in his car in LA. So that's very serious. That's very serious, and it could not be more direct in your face. That type of situation, that type of irony also of that situation. Someone who gets $900 per month, does nothing, is just a burden to the government, and lives in his car on top of it because he has an inheritance that if he declared that, he would not get that SSI or whatever that he's getting. First of all, the lying, the cheating, when there are other people who need it much worse, and all of those things. And then on top of it, this complaining, I am not getting enough, or someone else gets more. I hope that this example really highlights the situation. And then there's a lot of people who inherited some negative feelings about themselves from their parents also, and then there's entire demographics on this planet who feel disadvantaged and who make this into a gender issue or a race issue. You know what I'm talking about. You see it every day. You see it when you talk to people. You see that this is happening. Okay? And that's not good. That is not helping the people who are complaining. And that's why I try to highlight this, because I think this is very, very important. It is important to breathe. Remember to breathe, okay? It's very, very, it's the most important thing there is, okay? Thich Nhat Hanh talks about, he says, if you don't do anything else, but at least you have to breathe. You have to really remember that you have to breathe and sit straight for that. I was crunched over like this. I have to sit straight up, neck up, back straight, all the way to the tailbone straight. Sit straight up like this. And breathe slowly in and out through the abdomen. And very, very important, hold the breath for a few moments and then slowly breathe out, and repeat this many times per day. Very important. Drink a lot of water. There's a lady, she brought this to one clear denominator, and her name is GB. I recommend her videos to everyone. She makes whisper videos that are very relaxing, very amazing for the nerves, so I highly recommend them. I watch her videos all the time, and it's very, very relaxing. I can't get enough of those videos. Also Izzy Davis, and there's many others that are great. So many people who do those, but these two are my favorite ones. And they're also animal lovers, the animal rights, they want to make the world a better place, so they resonate with me. And what GB said, it's very clear and very, very simple. She said you need to drink a lot of water and you need to sleep a whole lot. Okay? If you get these two things straight in your life will become better. Your illnesses will start healing up. You will have a clarity of mind. You will feel good. What you're going to be doing is going to be fun doing it. This is the bottom line. I personally can't function if I don't sleep well. So, and when we have anxiety, we have trouble sleeping. So that's very so. And Izzy Davis, because of that, Izzy Davis always emphasizes in between what she's talking about. Breathe. Always remember to breathe, and then things get detoxed. Your mind gets detoxed. I'm gonna sit here. Okay, hang on. I'm making a video, and it's a better light here. And so if we breathe, drink a lot of water, and sleep a lot, those are the three basic things that we have to do right in our lives. That's the foundation of it, okay? And then from there, there are all kinds of holistic steps, excuse me, that we have to take. I am not the epitome of health, as you can see. I'm overweight, I cough, I have, I don't know, some kind of dragging cough. I had a real bad bronchitis during the summertime, during the wildfires. The wildfires made it worse. There was a horrible virus going on, and ever since then it just keeps on dragging a little bit. But I can still, if I'm fat, I can still tell you to exercise. That does not void my message to you, because the messenger doesn't have to be a god. The messenger is just a messenger. Yeah, it's just some vehicle that brings you a message. And just like you read a message on your computer doesn't have to be super perfect for that. So the computer is just a messenger, or a phone, or whatever. So it's very important what I say. I say it to myself as well. I make these videos also for myself, to watch those again and to remind myself that those are the thoughts I had that day, and those were some insights, and it's good to re-watch my insights that I had. They're not constantly permanent in my brain, so when I wake up and I have an insight, I like to make a video very quickly, or write something down, or paint something very quickly in my notebook if I have some sketch ideas. I had some remarkable ideas today when I woke up. And that's always a sign that I'm rested and that my body was able to recover. I had back pain last night. That's all gone. And so I constantly heal my own ailments with my own home remedies that I'm making myself. And I wrote a whole book about this. It's called The Ultimate Holistic Rejuvenation Program. And it's available on Kindle store, so anyone who's interested to read about some real hardcore holistic healing modalities, that's the book. I also researched it from other people. I got it from many great people. There are many great books on the matter of health. So there are so many books, and so many books on rejuvenation and holistic healing, which is great. I'm glad that is happening. I'd rather see that than be miserable and feeling sorry for myself that my book isn't selling, because there are so many competitive books out there. So I'd rather have the competitive books and see the world getting better than being a monopoly for something and hawking all the whatever attention. So I get no attention whatsoever. But I'm glad, because I see there's many other people out there who are putting very valid, valuable information out there to the public, and so that brings the whole world forward. And so that's how we all should be thinking, and not be sitting somewhere in a car in LA and feeling sorry for ourselves that we don't get more than $900. I don't get $900. You know, I get money from my mother. I'm a poor artist. I paint. My art doesn't sell. My books don't sell. Yeah, so my poor parents, my parents aren't poor, but so if they were, I wouldn't take the money. But you know, they have a pretty lavish lifestyle, and they got a good income, and so they are also generous, and they're helping my brother and me. So, and we're very grateful for that. Very grateful that I'm not falling onto the burden of a government, but rather onto the pocket of my parents. And a lot of people feel ashamed about this. Yeah, it's not something I'm like, I'm not super thrilled about this either. I'm not perfect. I'm not a god. I already said that. I I have cleaned some houses in LA for 2 years. I just could not continue to do it. I couldn't do it. I wanted to be more independent. I just couldn't do it. It's just not possible for me to continue this. One can do this for 2 years, but after that, it's like, no, I just didn't see the point anymore. One becomes rather depressed. I don't want to say any more than that. So you can possibly imagine, how that feels. And that's why I feel terribly sorry for all these people in the world who have to work, who don't have another source, another helper to help them out. And that's really, 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 really terrible. There's a lot of suffering in the world. But I'm a messenger, and I read a lot, and I bring that message in my own words back to the public, trying to help in any way I can to bring that what I read, and my insights also, and the stuff that my brain creates from all these different points, all this different food for thought. So I create my own conclusions. And okay, I'm coming. Just give me a second. He made me a pizza. So anyway, I just want to wrap this up, okay? I think this is very important. So it's very important that people stop feeling sorry for themselves. I mean, you can feel sorry for yourself and let it really cry out. Cry it out. Cry it out on your couch, or someone's shoulder, or you can tell an animal. I used to in LA. This is not hocus pocus. I used to, when I lived in LA, I had a dog for 3 months only. All the other years I didn't have an animal because I couldn't have an animal. And even that dog, it was just a fostering. I had to give that dog to someone else who had a better house and lived at the beach and so on. So, but when I was living by myself, I was walking down the streets, and wild animals would come out somewhere out of the woodworks, and they would walk with me. It's very, very amazing. And there was this one opossum walking along with me. I was walking next to a cement wall fence that was fenced off between the street and someone's property. And this opossum was walking next to me on eye level, literally, on this cement fence. I don't know where it was, somewhere on Washington Boulevard or something. I think it was Washington Boulevard down there, all the way down there already by West LA. And it was a nice evening, very sun was setting, it was very warm, and this opossum looking at me and like a conversation partner. And I would just talk to that animal, and I would say, man, thank you for joining my hike here. I was walking everywhere. I liked walking, so it was very good for my brain. Walking long distances, many miles. And yeah, and he was joining my walk for as long as this wall was lasting. It wasn't that long. It spanned a couple of lots, and he was walking next to me, and I told him my story. Yeah, so I told him why I was crying and feeling sorry for myself. And I don't know if he understood any of this cognitively, but I know that energetically he felt like I was there. I was personally available for that animal. I was a friend there. I was walking next to him, and I don't know, could have been a female next to her, a big opossum, and he felt that I am there for him. He felt that I'm his friend, and that's what also Jiddu Krishnamurti and Dr. Alan W. Anderson in the conversations in San Diego were talking about. They were saying that if we really listen to someone, then it doesn't even matter anymore what we're saying. We gotta really picture this. This is completely reversed to how most people think. But that goes deep into healing and healing of mind and meditation. So that goes into what they're talking about, nothingness. That's the meditation on emptying your brain and mind completely out. But it will never be completely empty. There's no such thing as emptiness. What they mean by that is empty out the clutter. And that's what I'm talking about in this video. Empty out the clutter out of your house. Empty it out of your brain. Become still with who you are. And when you do this, you see the other animal. You see the opossum next to you. You see a crying cat in the tree. You're not going to walk past that. You will hear, you will see. And Jiddu Krishnamurti, Dr. Anderson pointed this out because it is very, very profound what Jiddu Krishnamurti said. He said that hearing is doing nothing to stop seeing. It's a very important statement. Hearing is doing nothing to stop seeing. That means I hear, and my brain or ego or clutter is not doing anything to prevent me anymore from actually seeing it, from seeing the crying animal, from seeing the homeless person who is crying on the street, from seeing a thirsty animal, a thirsty dog in India or in the Middle East, from really seeing. You empty yourself from the clutter, from what other people have told you, religion and so on. You empty that out, and then you can see. So my tablet needs to be recharged. I make more videos. Take care. Bye bye.